Pokémon is one of the most successful video game franchises in existence right now. And of course that comes with a lot of mystery, creepypastas, and myths that are derived from each of these mysterious games. Like this dumbass truck, we still haven't figured out why they put this here? Especially from the first couple of generations, where people had no internet to back up their claims. With that in mind, I chose 5 fan games to scratch that creepy Pokemon itch I'm sure that you all have. Strap in, children. Mentoktober begins now. Number 5. Pokémon Black. Alright, let's kick this ass-clenching scarefest off with a Romhack classic, Pokémon Black. No, not that one. This story originates before Game Freak decided to release the versions named after the most basic of colors. It started as a creepypasta going around the internet about a cursed Pokémon Red game where things were a little off. Does sound familiar? I got jump scared, let's go. The player character would begin his grand Pokémon adventure like any other. You're given a new Pokémon by Professor Oak, but after you choose that first Pokémon, you'll notice in your battle with Blue that there's one more in your possession. Upon further inspection, you'll see a Pokémon simply named Ghost. Okay, at that point, I would just throw that cartridge into the furthest lake, but that's just me. Can't deposit Ghost into the PC, you can't release him. He can't even be hurt by other Pokémon in battle. He's stuck in your lineup for good. The rest of the game proceeds as normal, but if you happen to be using your trusty friend Ghost to battle for you, you'll notice he has only one move, Curse. Now, if you're a true Pokemon aficionado, you'll know that the move Curse didn't debut until the release of Pokemon Gold and Silver. So what the hell does this version do then? Well, if you use it, it's pretty much a guaranteed win in any battle. Ghost fires it off and the screen cuts to black. You can go through the entire game using Ghost as your main Pokesqueeze to trounce the competition and become the champion of Indigo Plateau. But Mentok, this doesn't sound very different from Pokemon Red. Why are you even bringing this up? Well, here's the twist. After you and your team are added to the Hall of Fame, the screen cuts to black, and many years pass. You're seen again in Lavender Town, on top of the Lavender Tower, as an old man, gazing upon several tombstones. All of your Pokemon are gone, including your trusted Ghost. The overworld is empty, populated only with the tombstones of the trainers you cursed to reach your brief moment of glory. You can only advance by returning to your house in Pallet Town, where you'll be forced to look at every single Pokemon and trainer you cursed on your unstoppable path to champion.
Now it's your turn. It's time to give your soul to Ghost. You can struggle. You can fight. But death is inevitable. Sleep well, trainer.
Number 4. Pokémon Reborn. Pokémon Reborn is one hell of a fan game. While it may not be a scary Pokémon game per se, it does take place in a post-apocalyptic setting, which can be very off-putting at times. The game begins with the ability to select from 5 different trainer designs as they ride the train into the Reborn region. Before you can even obtain your first Pokémon, you narrowly escape a train bombing by a local gang, Team Meteor. I mean, which Pokémon game do you know that starts off with hundreds of casualties? From that moment on, the game doesn't pull any punches in setting a grittier tone. The denizens of Reborn aren't always happy to see you. Some of them may rob you, threaten you, or do whatever they can to make you feel unwelcome. Even still, your trainer presses on and is granted a starter of their choice from 7 generations worth of Pokemon. So not only do you gotta decide between fire, water, and grass, you're stuck deciding between the best starters of all time, Totodile and Chimchar. Alright, don't hop on me in the comments section. What this fan game does a little bit better than the actual Pokemon games is making its region feel a little bit more alive. The towns are larger, and the NPCs all have pretty interesting dialogue that fleshes out the world building from the get-go. You're rewarded for exploring with smaller events that may grant you Pokemon that are considered rare in the Reborn region. And since it's a post-apocalyptic world, finding that Pokemon you want may be a little bit more difficult than just walking through regions of tall grass, considering many are almost extinct in this world. Death is not glossed over in this fan game, and it takes a much more mature approach to the world of Pokemon. With that said, this game is massive. It contains 807 Pokemon, clocks in at about 55 hours, with 18 gym leaders to take down. All the trainer sprites are customized and the music is all original, created by GlitchxCity of YouTube fame. And while the main story is complete, the developers are still looking to release post-game content, so this is still a work in progress. But if you're looking for a challenge along with a completely different take on Pokemon, this one is right up your alley. Number 3. Pokemon Curse version. Get those bowels ready to be emptied because this one is top tier scares right here. Pokemon Curse version. This game at least had the decency to let us know it's cursed. You start off as a trainer, boy or girl, waking up on Halloween night in Saffron City. You have a single Pokemon sitting in his Pokeball on your desk, and it's a regular Marowak, which is a little disappointing because we all know Alolan Marowaks are the shit. Anyway, after grabbing your useless Pokemon, come on now, dawg. Now it's time to go trick-or-treating. What could go wrong? Alright, so first off, none of the other kids in town want to talk to you. But fuck them kids. They're only competition for candy anyway. You can go from door to door and collect rare candies from the townsfolk, which honestly I think would be a cute little event for Pokemon Sword and Shield. You can stop some kids from egging the Pokemart by hopping into a quick battle with them. It's a guaranteed level up, so I figured why not. Your Marowak then learns Rage, so I went ahead and replaced Foresight, which I think is a useless move. Who needs that shit? Come on, man! And once you're done collecting candy, you can even head on over to the gym and face Sabrina, and plot twist, she's actually your mom. So now I'm playing this to figure out who stole my wife for me because apparently they're trying to get these hands. Let me get back on track because my inner child is leaking. So you face off her Drowsy and Gengar, so I hope you didn't delete Foresight because all your other Pokemon moves are useless. What? So I went ahead and replaced Foresight, which I think is a useless move. Who needs that shit? Okay, after I restarted the game and kept Foresight, finally beat Sabrina and she gives you the Soul Badge, and specifically tells you not to enter the Silphco Tower. We're gonna head on in there, right?
We'll split up. I'll take the girls this way.
You can either bribe the officer at the door with candy or show the Soul Badge and get inside with 0 resistance. And then from here on, there's not much to say about the building, since it looks like the same as Pokemon Fire Red. You'll get to the very top floor to come face to face with... No. Wait a minute, no, I thought we were done with you. Ghost? So after a long-ass monologue about how awful humans are, he says he'll kill everyone unless you beat him in a Pokemon battle. Then sends out a level 100 Gengar, so I guess the world is fucked. The battle's unbeatable, and you pretty much get an end screen telling you everyone died. Happy Halloween. Okay then. There is, in fact, a good ending, which courtesy of this speedrunner you'll get to see. While you're walking around trick-or-treating and exploring the Silphco building, there are ghost pieces that you can collect. And when you get enough, you can access the basement of the building instead, where you come face to face with your father.
You're telling me this is the guy? This simp is the one that got with Sabrina? This is the one that's behind everything?
Sabrina, I'm single. Let's do this. Anyway, this one's kinda whack, but I do like the trick-or-treating idea for an actual Pokemon game, or any Halloween event for a Pokemon game in general. Game Freak, you need to get on that. Number 2. Pokémon Dusk. Well, if you thought that last one is the bottom of the barrel of Pokemon creepy games, well, this one is going to top that. This is an RPG Maker game called Pokémon Dusk. Ethan, the player character of Pokemon Gold, is getting through the Ilex Forest to Goldenrod City when he sees a zombie crossing the train tracks ready to eat his face.
He's saved by a self-insert character named Dave, who comes up and pops that sucker right in the middle of her forehead.
Pa-pow! So he's there with his Quilava wondering what the heck's going on and passes out from the stress of the situation. He's brought to safety in some underground lair where he's told that nothing will ever be the same.
From this point on, it's up to your Quilava to protect you from the zombies that are plaguing the city outside. You're sent on multiple missions by the NPCs in the underground base. This may include rescuing Pokemon or trying to find missing persons that need to get back to help in this zombie apocalypse. Now, I will admit that I didn't get too far in this ROM because the battle system wasn't up my alley. You basically use Quilava to attack the zombies or other rabid Pokemon. I'm not sure if there are any upgrades from that point on, but the attack system is pretty unreliable, and I found myself taking a lot of damage unnecessarily. Based on the description for the game, there are 3 possible endings, and I won't spoil all 3 of them. It doesn't have the traditional Pokemon gameplay style, and is more of an action-adventure RPG, but if you're looking for a nice Halloween twist to the Pokemon world, maybe this is something that you can start with.
Number 1.
Pokémon Snakewood. I'm gonna start by saying this Romhack is ridiculously hard. The main plot begins with the player character who's waking up in a destroyed Littleroot town, trying to figure out what happened as they have no memory of what went down. You go from town to town destroying zombies and saving NPCs as you move forward with the plot. So while this takes place during a zombie apocalypse, you're going to be facing all types of trainers that are reskinned as zombies or random survivors in the middle of this apocalypse. Towns are just completely empty. There are medicine bags laying around where you can heal your Pokemon and move on with your adventure, but you're going to be reaching a lot of trainers that have really high level Pokemon very early. So expect to start grinding with the Pokemon that you do catch. Pokeballs are extremely expensive and hard to come by, so I think it's best to truly plan out your team and get a good variety going, because the game doesn't mess around with your opponents. They're extremely high level very early, as I said before. Once I got to Rustboro City, which is the fort town in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, the place is overrun with trainers with very high level Pokemon. To get past this area, I either had to continue grinding my Pokemon with wild Pokemon battles until my team was up to snuff, or just use cheats, and I chose to do neither, so I'm showing some footage from other playthroughs at the moment. Aside from the difficulty, I will give this Romhack props for its nice sprite work. It takes some pretty gruesome liberties on all the trainers. Though all the NPCs in each town haven't been completely modded to have different dialogue, so some seem completely oblivious that there's a zombie apocalypse going on in the first place. But I can't give this Romhack too much flack, because they have a lot of fake Pokemon that are pretty much corrupted versions of normal Pokemon, such as Rotmander, and Dirt Crow, and Bulbasaur. I mean, 10 out of 10 for the naming, guys. Aside from the zombie Pokemon, the Romhack does have some Fakemon such as Mystery Egg, for instance, as well as some Pokemon from future generations that weren't in the original Ruby and Sapphire. This Romhack doesn't really get my recommendation, unless you want to see some really gruesome sprites and just a darker turn to the whole Pokemon world. But isn't this what this whole countdown's about? I think the game expects you to grind a little bit too much, and that can take away from the overall experience. But if you're down for a challenge, go ahead and give this Romhack a try. It's perfect for Halloween night.
Yes, my children, we've successfully kicked off Mentoktober. If you're new to Mentoktober, we do these types of videos for the entirety of the month of October, so feel free to hop on over to my Twitch channel as well, twitch.tv/TheMentok, because the festivities will continue over on that side. I want to thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment below to discuss any of the fan games that I've brought up, or if I've missed any, please feel free to drop them in there below, and maybe we can check them out on one of the streams moving forward. And as always, be safe. The Prophet has spoken.